Hello again. You know, I posted a couple of videos and I talked about the Constitution. I talked about natural born citizen. I talked about having to be born on this soil from two American citizens. That sort of puts the chosen one out of the race, doesn't it? It also puts Senator Ted Cruz out of the race, along with Senator Rubio. Ted Cruz was not born on American soil. I could care less what his mother was or is. And Marco, as I've said countless times, although he was born on American soil, his parents were both Cuban citizens. If either one of these wannabes really believed in the Constitution, do you not think that they would pull themselves out of the race? By them continuing to remain in the race, they're actually legitimizing the chosen one. That's what they're doing. Because what they're telling the American people is the Constitution doesn't matter. What it has to say doesn't matter. The law of the nations doesn't matter. All that matters is that they have an opportunity that they see to make history by becoming a president of whatever is left of the United States. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 2 says it all. And you'd think that they'd sort of have a clue, and I believe that they both do have a clue. And I've said this before as well, what they see is that the chosen one could do it, so why can't they? Well, the problem is, they say that they're law-abiding. They say that they follow the Constitution. They say they'll support the Constitution. Well, how can they say they'll follow the Constitution and support the Constitution when they're going against the Constitution? Their constituents might want to ask them that. And the American people might want to send them a letter. And I'm not referring to their constituents necessarily, I'm referring to the American people. You might want to inundate their mailboxes. You might want to refer them to Article 1, Section 8, Clause 2 of the Constitution. You might actually want to make a copy of that and include that in your letter to them. How can we try to prove that Obama was never eligible if both Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio are doing the same thing that he did, that the chosen one did? He ignored Article 1, Section 8, Clause 2. Will you write to Senator Marco Rubio? Will you write to Senator Ted Cruz? Will you let them know how disappointed you are that they're not following the Constitution? If you won't do it, who will? And if we all do it, well, they might realize that there's enough of us that believe what they're doing is wrong. And that might cause them to recognize that their chance to be elected is next to nil. Once again, if you don't do it, and if I don't do it, who's going to do it? I'm asking the American people to send both of them a letter asking them to follow the Constitution and not go against Article 1, Section 8, Clause 2. Will you do it? Will you ask your fellow like-minded, patriotic men and women to do it? You know how I'll have an idea? I'll have an idea based on the number of views this video receives. I'll have an idea as to the number of views whether or not people are passing this along. A few hundred letters won't do anything. A few million letters might change the course of history and have both of these go by the wayside. Being senators isn't enough for them. For most people it would be, but for them it's not. They both need to pull their hats out of the ring. That's sort of what I think. Let me know what you think.